Your basic amigurumi creature or critter starts with a magic ring. So you'll take your 3 fingers, put your yarn over the top, pinch it with your thumb, run it around the top of your fingers, pull it out from underneath your fingers, have the yarn coming out by your index finger here, push it across over there towards your pinky finger and grab it on with your pinky finger. So now you sort of have this X right here. You're going to go up under this first yarn over here and pull the yarn underneath and turn your hook upright. So now you should have 1 loop on there and your hook is facing you. Take it and grab that other part of the X right there on the top left and pull it through that center loop. So now if you take your index finger and thumb and grab that little knot right there by your hook and let go with your fingers from that circle, you should have right here what we call a magic circle or a magic ring. One side of it's attached to your yarn and the other side of it is a tail. And you can actually pull that tail. Once we put the stitches into this ring, you can pull this tail and it'll cinch this ring shut. I guess that's the magic in it. So now what we do to start this is we're going to put 6 single crochets in here. That's typically most of the amigurumis I work with are made with 6 single crochets in a magic ring to start with. So what you're going to do for that, I always mark, I've got a stitch marker here, but I always mark my first stitch of my round. Now some people mark the last one. I always mark the first one. So I'm going to do my tension on my yarn right here. That's my tension. And then I'm going to put my thumb right here on this yarn. It helps to hold it right there so that when you go in this circle, it doesn't go crazy and get loose on the hook. So you're going to go into the circle and grab that yarn that's out there and pull it back through the circle. Now this first one can really get a little wonky, but you just do it slowly and it'll be fine. So now you have two yarns on your hook right there. You're going to yarn over and pull through those 2. And that's your first single crochet. Now what I do is I take my hook that I'm holding here and I pinch it with my left index finger to hold it, let go of it, and I'm going to identify that stitch right there. See, there's the one side of the yarn, and there's the other side of the yarn. It's those 2 bumps right there. So I'm going to take my stitch marker and I'm going to put it up under, let's see, that stitch as to mark the first stitch. So now I have a single crochet with a stitch marker through it. So onto this ring right here, you're going to see there's going to be 2 yarns that you're going to be working over right now because one is the tail and one is your yarn. You're going to go back into the circle, grab your yarn, pull it out. You've got 2 there again. Grab your yarn and pull it through the 2. Now that's stitch number 2. You can see there's 1, 2. So now you're going to go in, pull a yarn over and pull it through. That's 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Stick your, remember I'm grabbing my yarn with my thumb, sticking it into the circle, yarning over and pulling through, and then yarning over and pulling through. That's 4. So we'll do 5 and 6. So now you have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 on here. So now you can take the end that's your tail. You can let go with your left hand actually. I'm holding it with my right hand. And identify which one of these is your tail. Okay, so that one's my tail. So now I'm going to slowly, oh maybe that one's not my tail. Slowly pull it. And it's starting to come together right there. Pull, pull, pull until it's tight. And you'll see what that did is that brought them together right there where my marker's in my first stitch right there. Now, unlike other crocheting, you're not going to close this with a slip stitch. You're going to just start your second round right into that first stitch. So in most cases, or in a lot of cases with amigurumi, you're actually going to be making a double stitch, double single crochet into each one of these previous single crochets. So you started with 6 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have your 6 stitches right here. You'll be putting 2 in each stitch so that you'll end up with 12. So if I take that marker out, now one of the things on these amigurumis you really want to pay attention to, when you take that marker out, remember where that marker came from, because sometimes the stitches can get lost and it's kind of hard to see because they're all single crochets. So wherever that marker came out, you're going to go through there. I'm going to go through those 2 loops. Sometimes you really got to push them on there. I'm going to yarn over and pull through that first space, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. So that's my first stitch. So I'm going to mark that with my stitch marker. See, you can see the stitch. There's one side of it and there's the other side of it. And then you'll do another single crochet right into that same space. So that's how you start this off.